I hope everyone's having an amazing Sunday. It's a little cloudy this time, but can't go wrong with a little cloud, right? We all need water, we all need rain. Apologies in advance, or I guess for the past. I've been gone for a little bit because of the holidays, Thanksgiving, just a lot going on. So I've been busy, but I'm back. So I hope you guys feel for me and understand, and that's kind of be the topic. It's empathy. It's a very hard thing. It's almost innate in nature, and as humans, we are empathetic. That's why it's kind of strange or a little off-putting when someone isn't. But even though it's innate, that doesn't mean everyone's gonna have it, right? For instance, innate, we are able to survive out in the wilderness. How else were we able to go out and do this on our own, right? We are creatures. We were born as primal beings. But now we've evolved, we've gone past that, we have civilization, blah, 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 technology, blah, 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 whatever, right? But to some degree, we still have that innate energy, that innate ability to survive out in the wild. Now, we still have that, but that doesn't mean we practice it every single day or even know what to do when we're in those positions anymore. I would say it's the same kind of vibe, same kind of energy with being empathetic. It's something you have to train, although we all can do it. So in order to train it, you have to literally just do it. So how do you be empathetic? How do you train yourself to be empathetic? Now, I would not recommend putting yourself in positions to where you have to experience and show empathy all the time. Although that's kind of what you're going to have to do. And I say that because that's draining. While you will get really good at it, it can be very hard on your own being to always be empathizing with other people or things or objects even sometimes. And what I mean by objects is like maybe you can, I guess, empathize with a statue. This has a sentimental meaning for other people, and it also is based off of a living person or a now deceased person or thing or animal or whatever, and it has importance that way. So you can understand and you can empathize when things deter it from existing or things destroy it, stuff like that. Regardless, you do not want to be in a position where you are over empathizing. And I think this is for two reasons. I've already said the first one, which is essentially almost like a burnout. You get tired. You can't exactly be yourself when you're always putting yourself in other people's positions, right? It's draining. The second is that in that same essence, it numbs you. When you overstimulate, you overexert yourself you over-empathize, you stop being who you are, and you start to want to make sure others are okay. It completely flips the scripts on your own being. Rather, you caring about yourself, which I believe is not selfish, it's just what you have to do. We're all here and we're all living our own lives. We have to care about ourselves to some degree. When you stop doing that and you put a primary focus on other people, other things, other animals, whatever, blah, 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 then you start to lose yourself. And you should not do that. You do not want to lose yourself because you are here for a reason and you are here to do something. I don't know what it is and I can't tell you, but your existence is not futile. You are here for a reason. So do not let your existence go to waste. Do something with it, right? So with empathy, you have to dial it back sometimes. You have to be able to say, you know what, I can't put myself in a position not to not care about something, but to over care about something. And there's vast examples on it, and I can't go into all of them. And if I do, it might get a little crazy, so I'm not going to. But I think we can all come to our own conclusions on what I mean by that. So we all as humans have a maximum amount of care to give. It sucks to say, I don't know if that's even a hot topic or not, but I believe that. We can't care about everything. You can, but you lose yourself in the process, and I think losing yourself in the process is worse than not caring about everything. And this is also the case because We don't know everything that's going on. It's impossible to know everything that's going on. So why should we hold ourselves to the standards to care about everything that's going on? It's not fair to ourselves. We need to be realistic. We need to be able to set our own expectations accordingly, or else we'll get lost in those expectations. So I'm not going to tell you what to care about. I just feel that you should care about, at least greatly care about, a select few things to where you feel like maybe you can actually have an impact on that thing you care about. Right? Besides that, I would just say, when you are in these positions where you are needing to care, let yourself care. Like, for instance, if someone's talking to you about a hard time they've had in their life, or a breakup, or, you know, maybe they just didn't like the food that you made them, something like that. This is an experience. This is a time where you were put in this position. It's not that drastic where it's going to affect you, but you do need to be present. You need to be able to sit there and listen. And that's the first step of caring, is actually knowing what's going on. You need to know what the problem is. So you need to listen. First step is listening. Open your ears. Understand. Ask questions. Hey, what do you mean by that? I don't really understand here. Could you explain that again? Just make sure you, first and foremost, understand the situation. Okay? Second thing is, try not to over talk or overshare. And what I mean by that is that they are clearly coming to you, or you are seeing something. You need to understand what's going on, and you need to keep understanding. And don't input until it's necessary. For instance, if someone is complaining to you, don't just give them advice, right? If they're complaining to you, or whatever, listen, comprehend it, take it in, right? Now you're in their shoes. Now that you understand their situation, you are being empathetic, right? But holding that empathy is the hard part. You can always be empathetic at any time randomly, but you have to hold it and maintain it so that it can actually be of use, right? So now that you have it, you say, oh, well, you know, that sucks. I'm really sorry to hear that, blah, blah, blah. There's more words to it, but obviously you go into it as you go. Don't give advice unless they ask for it. Sometimes people just need a shoulder to cry on, right? Sometimes people in your life are just going to want to say stuff just to get it out and then move on. And although this is a nice thing, it shouldn't be the only thing that you are there for. And I say this because you are not someone's punching bag, and you are never going to be someone's punching bag, and you should not let yourself be someone's punching bag. But people in our lives are going to want to let things out, and that's healthy, and that's normal, and that's natural, right? Because you do the same thing. So to expect someone to listen to you, or to be empathetic to you but not give it back, is not very fair at all. There's just limits to these kind of things. So don't let yourself be the person that gets talked to and yelled at or whatever, especially if you were the one doing it and you're not giving it back. That's a side point though. Regardless, the first step is listening. The next step is understanding. The third step is then, if they ask for advice, give it. If they don't, just be there. It's that simple. There's no extra craziness to the third step. It's just be there. Be present. Let them know that you've obtained that information and now you were just there for them. And leave it at that. There really is nothing more to it. It's I think it's one of those things in life that's complicated because it's so simple. Listen, understand, be there. That's it. That's all empathy is. And it's hard because a lot of people get lost in that first step of listening. Because if you're not listening to the problem or listening to whatever the issue is, then you can't understand or be there. So they're like, I just don't get it. They think they're they don't understand what I'm saying, and I'm telling them, I'm giving them the advice, or I'm being there for them. I'm letting I don't know why they don't see me as a helpful person or a good friend or a good partner. It's because you're not listening. So listen, be a better listener. It's a hard thing though, because with listening comes actual comprehension and understanding of what's going on, which is why it's the second step. But with that, even it's its own skill. You have to take time with it. I would just say, Stop talking so much. Let the words flow out of someone else's mouth and then talk. But that's a whole different story for a whole different day. But maybe I'll do a different video for the next one. Have a good video idea for the next video. Regardless, that's all I have for now. Be more empathetic. Listen more. Be a better person. Or don't. Who cares? I can't tell you what to do. Regardless, I hope you guys have an amazing Sunday and have a good night. Bye-bye.